about Patrick Byrne and the America Project.
Good.
So it will be it's a good. Hopefully, it's a good event. Supposedly it's some folks who have been very supportive, and these guys have set this thing up. So, anywho, so what's happening these days? I mean, where are you at with? Because I know where I'm at with Vernon. I mean, he and I have been back and forth, and I've had him, just so you know, I've had him remove me from all of his websites and stuff like that. I haven't pulled my endorsement yet, but because I'm still, wanting to get a little bit more information. I mean, I know that he definitely, in DeKalb County, he definitely got himself into trouble. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. The thing that really bugs me, I guess, is the rape charge. When people say rape, because rape is such a strong word, and that's where I just, I'm not near that line, and I can't go over that line with people when they make those claims, And there's a lot of people on the internet that say that, But I don't know. What do you know?
Well, I only know that I watched the lady that Stu Peters interviewed. And It's my understanding she was one of the assistant district attorneys in the sex crimes department at DeKalb County, and she interviewed the victim. So, number one, I believe that anybody is capable of sinning, and you can be, if you find Jesus, you can be forgiven of your sins. So I don't hold anyone's past against them. But I don't ignore it, and I don't feel like Vernon Jones, candidly, General, I don't think he knows Jesus. So I don't know. I watched him on that. I sent you that video where he made some comments that were suggestive to those young ladies that are reporters. I've heard other people say on the campaign trail in recent weeks that he does things like hit on women, and so I'm looking at Vernon Jones and I'm thinking, well, is this guy
oh my goodness,
fast, or is he just doing the same thing? But it's not. I want to be candid with you, General. We met by Twitter, and then we became obviously allies in the fight for freedom and the fraudulent election. Had you here at my house. Loved having all the people you brought with you. I didn't really ask what they would do. I just accepted them as your people working with you, and it is what it is. But I know that I'm loyal to you. And I have been loyal to you, and I've tried to address our differences in private. Because I'd like to think we're more alike than we are different. But we're different. I mean, everybody's different. But I wrote you and told you what Vernon Jones said about me publicly. When all I did was ask him about his finances, and he responded by saying that I was un-American, had made my money illegally, and that I was a racist. Well, all of those are false. There's not one shred of evidence to support it, which I would think you would understand when you want so much evidence about Vernon, but there was none about me.
I don't know, I mean, that Lynn, he should have never done that. And I honestly, you may have sent that to me. I don't remember getting it, but that doesn't matter. Honestly, because I get so much stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said it is not right. It's wrong.
Well, it's
absolutely wrong.
Nobody believes.
Have you challenged him on that? Did you challenge him? Did you say, hey, you can't say this?
Well, he put it on Candace Taylor's Telegram page, and I did comment on it. And I sent it to you and said that if somebody had called you un-American and a racist, I'd whip their ass. I certainly wouldn't endorse them for high office.
Yeah.
So, but that's between you and me, and it just struck me that, it bothered me because you were being loyal to, you were showing an extraordinary amount of loyalty to Vernon Jones and disloyal.
I'm loyal to you, and I want to always say good things about you. So the fact that you're telling me, I'm going to call him up and tell him.
Well, if you go back and
just one more thing that he just.
if you go back and
it's that kind of stuff, you know.
if you go back and look at the signal text, you'll see where I wrote you about it. But I know you're busy, and I get a lot of stuff, and I miss it too. But I never can miss anything from you.
Yeah.
The
Well, part of the other reason why I'm calling is because Doug got a hold of me and just said, hey, I want to make sure that that you guys, you and Lynn are okay. I said, I think we're okay, because he just felt he really wanted you to come to one of these events, because you inspire people, and that's a good thing. So what I want to make sure is that you're not going to do something because you can't be there with me or something like that. I don't want that to be the case.
Well, it's not specific to you at all, General. I have watched and discerned over the past months that there are a lot of people that are involved in the Patriot movement, and to me it's a movement where you sacrifice for your country. I know I have. I haven't made a dime in a year and 6 months practicing law, and I've gone through what liquid money I had, and I got a lot of land, but that's I can't go take it to the grocery store and give them a handful of dirt. So I'm not struggling, but I'm cognizant of the need to be a good steward. So Doug's event, there was one with Debbie Williams. I spoke with her. I can't fly commercial, and I can't afford right now to ask Fight Back because we don't raise that much money. And I've got legal battles that I'm fighting, not for my law license, but for other people, because I don't care about mine. I want to retire. And I'm just not, General, I'm not into this idea of people being paid to speak. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody's entitled to be compensated for their time. But I know some of the money that's been flying around.
And I will tell you, but each of us also has a different place in life too. Don't forget that. If you don't,
well, no.
This shit, I don't have any problems with it. I don't have any problems with it at all. People, especially if somebody offers it and it's reasonable, but I don't not do something because of that reason.
Sure,
I'll still do it.
And I know you went through.
If they can't do it.
I know you went through a tough time.
But I'm in a different place in life.
I know you went through a tough time with the fake false charges against you. I know you've had to work your way out of that. But I also saw where you got $1 million in 2016 being on the board of directors of Pegasus, and I'm not a fan of Pegasus.
I never got that.
There's a listing that someone sent around, a document for Pegasus. It had, I think it was, don't have it in front of me.
That's not right.
I'll look and see if I can find it, because there's a lot of false. There's a lot of false. There's a lot of false information going around.
Yeah, that's false information. That's fake news. I mean, I wish I did. Wish I did.
Well, I've watched some of these.
I mean, believe me.
So the QAnon movement really is a movement that spun out of your digital soldiers. I'm tired of these QAnon people attacking me.
Maybe, I don't know that.
But some of them.
I think it's a disinformation campaign. I think it's a disinformation campaign that the CIA created. That's what I believe. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I think it is. I think it's a disinformation campaign. It's actually a very interesting article today out that was sent to me. I'll send it to you about how the QAnon movement has failed and all that. But I find it total nonsense, and I think it's a disinformation campaign created by the left, and the types of people that can create something like that are the kinds of people that we train for certain with certain skills in the CIA.
I'm aware that the CIA does it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm aware the CIA does programs where they'll give you 75% of the truth and then wrap it in a package that makes you look crazy to demean the truth they gave you. And I've always assumed that Q, as it originally started, may have been a white hat operation that got, in effect, kidnapped by the black hats, or is either a black hat or a white hat. I don't know. I don't care. What Q stood for initially, I've always believed, one, there were Q drops. I never really understood them, didn't look at them. but I understood what Q stood for.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I feel like I'm trying to do here for myself, in terms of my faith, I believe the only issue that's before this country right now that's of primary importance is to investigate the communist effort to steal our presidency.
That's what I am. That's my, sort of primary overall effort is that this country was taken, the presidency was stolen, there was a coup that occurred, it's still ongoing, and trust me, even with all these positive results from these elections in the last 24 hours, you're going to watch this administration, they're going to double down now. They're not going to suddenly go, the American people are sending us the message about we got to be better in schools, we got to take care of kids, no. They're going to double down.
I don't believe that Virginia is 50.
These are communists.
I don't believe that Virginia is 50-50. I believe that election of McAuliffe and Youngkin was rigged. I think they gave it to Youngkin. Maybe they did. Maybe they're going to change it in the next few days. But I think they picked their people. That's how they've got everybody in government that's now basically an adherent to their communist principles, even if they don't know they're communist. They've rigged these elections for decades. That's why nobody in government is asking for audits, because they know the audits will show they were involved. But I don't.
They haven't even announced the results of Fairfax County yet.
I don't see any wave.
They haven't announced them yet, and they're withholding that information.
I don't see any wave from what was done yesterday. But that's just a difference of viewpoint. I think the second most important issue in this country, as much as we'd like to talk about COVID and the vaccines, which are deadly, people take those by choice. I think the second most important issue in this country is child sex trafficking. Those children don't have a choice.
I mean, it really is. Yep.
So I'm kind of looking.
Really bad too.
So I'm kind of looking at the times I go. I don't charge travel. I don't charge security. I don't charge fees. But I try to pick my battles carefully where I can go to focus on those two issues, as well as the other issues that are before us. But we can't fix any issue until we fix 2020. If we fix 2020, I think we can fix everything. If we don't fix 2020, we can't fix anything.
And maybe, I think in the meantime, we've got to fight the battles in front of us. But some of those battles are still to continue to prove, because like everybody keeps telling me, well, there's no court that's done this, and all of the documentaries, everything that's been put forward. Now you still have a lot of people out there that still don't believe it because some judge hasn't said it, and people are waiting for that instead of doing their own research. But I agree.
Well, I've got a case that
this country was stolen.
I got a case sitting in the 11th Circuit waiting for a ruling on en banc review that will go back to the Supreme Court that is dead on the money on the states legislators not approving the changes. When that gets there to the Supreme Court, whether they'll hear it or not the second time around, I don't know. But I've been fighting it legally. I've been fighting it myself for what I'm trying to help other lawyers. We got a lot of people that are like the disciples. One to betray Jesus actively for money, and the other 11 denied him because they were scared. So not many people support me. Like some of the people that QAnon John knows, QTA and somebody that posts on We the Media and some guy named Jordan say that
I like him.
You ought to tell QAnon John, you ought to tell QAnon John to make sure his troops understand. Stop attacking me with this false nonsense stuff. I'm not going to tolerate it. I like him just because I met him as a person, but I think his views, and I've told him this, that his views about all that stuff are wacky. You can't get into there's no truth to any of that. It's all disinformation, and it's set up to make people actually look like fools. That's really what that whole thing is. I try to look for this. I'll try to look. I try to look.
Job with it.
Well, but if it's a CIA disinformation, or if it's a white hat that got kidnapped, there's truth in it. So I try to look at it regardless of who's doing it to find the truth in it, and there's truth in it, General.
You still there?
I'm still here. There's truth in it, I believe. So I just have to figure out what's truthful or not. I think the nonsense about people being alive, like all that's nonsense. I mean, heck, I hope they are. It's up to God to know that.
Yeah.
But I look at some of the facts and I go, well, these facts are facts. I don't look at what it says opinion-wise.
Let me just finish because
You go ahead.
And I'm going to walk into a thing here in about two minutes. So I will tell you one thing from between you and I. You always have my loyalty, and to me, as people ask me about you, it's always very, very positive, very strong, very very generous. I mean, and because I just have just absolute respect for everything that you continue to fight for. I would only ask you to just make sure that you on stuff like this stuff with this Pegasus thing.
I only told you about that.
I wish I did.
I only told you about it because I saw it and I didn't say a word and wouldn't say a word without talking to you about it.
There's a lot of stuff out there about Q and me, and there's every article that somebody writes about Q, they always put my name in there, even though
Did I lose you?